All right, hello everyone. Today I'm going to explain to you the Communism and Asian Timeline. What I would like you to do is please take a moment and highlight what I have highlighted. So here's our plan. We've been studying the spread of communism in Asia for the last few weeks. All right. You are going to be taking those events using all of your note sheets and creating a timeline. So the basic instructions are this. You are going to create a timeline of 14 events that impacted Asia. You must cover these 10 events that are right here. So those 10 have to be covered. Then on your timeline, you are going to choose 4 of these additional events. All right, any 4 that you would like to choose, you are going to be allowed to use. Now, after that, all right, here's what you're going to do for your timeline. All right, you must do the following on your timeline. For 5 of the events, you must draw pictures, all right, that relate. For 3 of the events, you must summarize the event. For 3 of the events, you must explain the impact the event had on the region, which means Asia. And then for 3 of the events, you must describe the impact that it had on the United States. This project is going to be worth 35 points, and you are going to receive the week to work on this. Now, the good news is this. All of these dates and information come from your notes, all right? And for your final 4 events, choose events that interest you. So for example, all right, if communism ending in Russia is something that does not interest you, then I would not do that event. All right, so keep that in mind. Now, you have been handed out the rough draft as well. All right, so this is what your final timeline is going to look like, but this timeline is going to be much bigger when you do the final copy. So let's take a moment and look at this. The first thing I would do is I would take the events and I would go through it and number them so you get them in the right order. All right, so for example, all right, I'm going to start with Bloody Sunday. That's the first event. Now I'm going to look at all of these dates and I'm going to go through and figure out which is next. All right, so as I go through, it looks like my next event is going to be 1917. So go through and start with that. All right, don't forget when you do that, you have to make sure that you've put these in there as well. On my rough draft, all right, so I'm going to start here with my first event, which I know because I went through, is January 22nd. So I'm going to write down January 22nd, 1905 is Bloody Sunday. All right. Now, remember, for each event that I put down there, now I have to decide what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to draw a picture. Am I going to summarize the event? Am I going to explain the impact it had on the region? Or am I going to explain the impact it had on the U.S.? All right. I think that I'm going to, in 3 sentences, summarize the event. All right. So I think that I'm going to decide, I'll say something to the effect of the Russian citizens went to the royal palace. They wanted food and medicine. The army shot at them. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do, I summarized that event. So I'm just going to put a little slash mark here, a tally mark, so I know I have one done. My second event is the Russian Revolution. All right. Russian Revolution, 1917. All right. I think for this one, I might describe the impact that it had on the region. All right. And I would slash that. Your rough draft, when you draw pictures, you do not need to have color on them. All right. You do not need to have the fanciest pictures. And in order to get your final draft, you will need to show me your rough draft. All right. Enjoy working on this. It's going to be fun to see the creative pictures and descriptions that you come up with.